Hey, everybody. Welcome to my live session. And I have a special guest here with me today that I'm going to tell you all about this. Actually, let me just tell you right now, today we're talking about trademarks, and I have Gebrina, who I'm going to call G. Okay. And we're going to talk about how she trademarked her logo for her consulting business. But first, let me just introduce myself and then I'll introduce G. So I'm Tez. I am a tax expert. I help new and existing professionals learn tax laws so that they can then take that knowledge and either create or expand their existing tax business. So, welcome, G. How's everything?
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so tell everybody about yourself and your business.
Okay, well, my name is Gebrina Roberts, and I am known as the numbers whisperer in my community. I love accounting, I love bookkeeping, and my business is I'm a consultant for nonprofits. I do their bookkeeping and accounting, and I also do work for individuals and small businesses, primarily bookkeeping for those.
That is so awesome. That's so awesome. So, everyone, if you need her services or if you want to have a conversation with her, you will have her contact information at the end of this video. Also, I encourage you all to like, comment, and share. You can comment here. I'll look at your comments and give you answers as best as we can. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. So, G, tell us, what did you trademark?
I trade my business name. The logo is GBR Consulting LLC, but it's also unique because it's an eggplant covered colored logo with a reflection in it. And I love my logo so much that I use it as much as I can everywhere. I got the logo when I first started the business, which was in 2011. That's when I started on my own, and I got a designer to create a logo for me. She started with three different logos, and this was like the best out of all of the three she gave me. And I have a reverse color of this one as well. So it's a eggplant background with white lettering.
Oh, yes, yes. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. It looks very professional. So I heard you say you got a designer for it. I know a lot of times people will design their own logos. So it is important to have someone design it for you, especially if an individual doesn't have that creative side.
Right.
Not saying you don't have the creative side, but it's always good to have a designer. That way you know what the end result is going to
Right.
be and that it's going to be
Right.
professional.
And it adds a touch of polish to it. Not to say whoever's doing it is not polished, but it just gives a different sort of quality to the image when you start sending it out to the world.
Yes, yes, yes. So true. So true. So true. So, for those of you who are watching again, please don't forget to like, comment, and share. We are here. You'll get to put up a question and we'll answer it to the best of our ability. So, very good, Jabrina. So, let's see here. The next question for you is, what led you to make this decision to go through with this process?
Well, initially I had no thoughts about it. Um, but as time went on, I just thought, how can I legitimize myself even more? And I was on this, Instagram just looking, and a friend referred someone who specializes in trademarks. And I just took that as a sign that, okay, it's time to do this. So I scheduled a meeting with the person, spoke to them about it. They explained the process, and I just said, okay, let's do it. And that's where we at now. It was a 14-month process for me, which can take longer depending on the work, but I can't regret it at all. It was the best decision I've made for my business.
Right, right. Now, how long have you been in business?
Well, I started in 2011. Uh,
Okay.
so it was more like a side job sort of thing. I still had my full time employment. And then in 2016, I decided to go 100% on my own. And at that point, it was now 5 years. And then started, getting my clients, getting a lot of referrals, mainly nonprofits. And then last year, now at this point, it made 10 years that I've been in business. And then I guess it was perfect 10 years. do the trademark, and everything just kind of worked out perfectly for me in that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad you were able to share that because I feel like a lot of times business owners don't see how important it is to go through that step, even though they've been in business for a long time.
correct.
So you mentioned you've been in business for 10 years and you went ahead and did this process, so it just shows that there's, I guess, what's the phrase? Like, it's never too late to do something. And it even takes you to that next level
Right,
um, of being a business owner.
right.
So that's a
I
really
think,
awesome
yeah, I
thing.
think to the outside world, it just makes you look more serious about what you're
Yeah.
doing and what product or service you're bringing to the world.
And
So,
that you're here to stay. They can rely on that. They can
yeah,
count on that.
yeah,
You're not going anywhere. Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure. So now the next question for you here is how long have you been using your trademark prior to this process, which is the process of you getting the application done?
Well, the minute I decided to start my business, the first thing I got was the logo. So literally, let's just say I started in 2011, like towards the ending of 2011, early 2012 is when I started using the logo. And I put it on everything that I could put it on. Even, trying to promote myself, I bought the notebooks, put my logo on the notebooks. At one point, I was too trying to get into the tax business, so I did certificates with my logo on it for discount sort of thing. Um, what else? Pens. I had the logo on the pens. So anything that I can put on that was promotional, I had it on that. And that helped me in the process because the trademark office will want to see how long you've been using the trademark, and they want to see documents supporting the dates of when you started using the trademark. And luckily for me, I had all that information. I just happened to I just went into my old email that I was using before I got a website and the domain name, and all of my paperwork was in there. So I was able to provide that to the trademark office. So that was important. That was a really important step. So, and I
Wow.
think if I didn't
Yeah.
have that, it would have delayed the process even more.
Wow. So basically, you were able to prove that you've been using this logo for X amount of times just by showing maybe receipts of the orders that you purchased to say, okay, you know what? I want 100 pins with this logo on it. And they send back a confirmation receipt and you're able to submit that. Now, did you have to show any physical items, like take pictures of any physical items for that purpose, or was that pretty
No,
much all
that
you
was
needed?
for me. That was pretty much it because I don't have the notebooks anymore. So the particular receipt I had showed the notebook with the design on it, the pens with the design on it, as well as the certificates that I had with the logo on it. So it was,
Wow.
yeah, it was really helpful. And I think that's for anyone who's thinking about doing the trademark, make sure you have your documents together.
Wow, very good. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very good. So now my next question for you is what was the most challenging part of this process?
Um, I would say the most challenging part is waiting because I'm the type of person that once I make a decision, I get to it and expect results right away. And because this was a 14-month process, now it's 14 months. It was like, wow, you really have to wait.
Oh, wow,
Luckily for
yeah.
me, I didn't have any issues. Like there were no bumps in the road for me. In my case, I did have someone help me do the trademark application, and they were the power of attorney to take care of anything that had to deal with the office because I'm too busy. I don't have the time to do it, and I value my time. So I just had them take care of everything, and I had no problems. They didn't communicate anything to me, but as far as I know, it was smooth sailing.
Oh, wow, wow. It was just, okay,
Yeah.
be patient with the process. Let what's going to happen go ahead and happen and play yourself out without you stressing yourself out about it.
Right.
So
I mean, but
that's
also
really
too,
good.
even in waiting I think in July, late July of this year, when the attorney told me, okay, you're now in the publication. It's called the Trademark Official Gazette. You have 45 days from there before they let you know that you're registered, because someone can read the Gazette and say, okay, I'm contesting this logo, I'm contesting whatever the image is or the word that you're using. That point, it was a little frustrating because I was just crossing my fingers that, okay, I hope no one say that's my name, I'm using it, and that then kind of erases the whole process, right? So
Yeah.
luckily none of that happened.
Yeah. So over the whole time period, it's like that 45-day mark, that was like the most
I was like, oh my God, please, nobody.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like I would have been accustomed to waiting for things after going through like my pregnancy with my daughter, because I tell you what, like that was like day and night. That's the only thing that was on my mind from morning till night. And finally, after the 9 months were done, I'm like, I think I'm a pro at patience, right?
Well,
But
yeah,
we learn that when we go through things,
yeah.
you gotta learn that patience all over
Right, yeah.
again. You
Yes,
know?
yes, yes. That's
Yeah,
absolutely true.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So, there's a lot of individuals
Hmm.
who may want to, I call them DIYers, they want to do it themselves, and that's fine, because I understand that you had an attorney.
Hmm.
But I want to know if you have 3 key tips that you can share with someone who doesn't want to go the route of having an attorney, just a DIYer who wants to have, like, increase their chances of getting approved, but without the attorney.
Well, that's a hard one. Because for me, I would recommend getting it if you can afford one, right? Because it's not cheap. Second, well, that's part of everything. One, if you're going to do it on yourself, make sure you get the trademark checklist. You can find it anywhere on the internet, and it'll give you a step-by-step guideline on what you have to do to apply, what information is needed, and how long the process will be. Now, the only piece is if you hit any obstacles. I don't know at that point whether you have to reset or the office will help you get over that hump. That part I don't know. Number two, and I stress this for every business owner, is to have your documents in order, from your financial records to your organization documents, and definitely your trademark information, which has to do with the use of your logo, which is the receipts, the products, anything along that line, that anything that you have that can support what you're doing, then that would be helpful. And third, patience. I mean, it literally is a waiting game. I can't stress that enough. It's like, okay, for me, it was just the patience. But if you're going to do it yourself, I would say, how much do you value your time versus getting the work done? Because it is a long process. Uh, I'm sure doing the application piece is a process. So if you have the patience to wait, one thing, but if you also have the patience to do the work yourself, that's another thing too. So I believe
That's
those are the 3 key things I've learned so far during this process. I would recommend it for any business that is serious about what they're offering, because it does differentiate you in the marketplace, and your customers will know who you are.
Yes, yes. Now I have a quick question for you, because one of the things that you mentioned is that with the documents in order, you mentioned financials.
Hmm.
So are they looking to see if this company is truly in business by seeing if you were earning money, or what, like, you don't have to go deep with it, but just on a light explanation, how did the financials come into it?
Well, it's been a while since I did the application. So I believe on the application, they may ask you your revenue and expenses. Don't quote me on it. I have to go back to the document. But even outside of the trademark, just having your finances in order helps you with everything. It's especially since we learned with the PPP loan, many businesses didn't get the money because they didn't have their financial statements available. So
Yes,
just in general, I'm just stressing, and as a person who does accounting and bookkeeping, have your finances in order. Because someone
yes,
like me,
I agree.
I look at your numbers and it doesn't make sense. I will say, hire me to help you make it make sense.
Hire her,
Yeah.
and we're going to show her We'll just put it up there now so you see it. There you go. Now we do have one last question for you,
Mhm.
G. Okay, so you use an attorney, but I have to ask this question. How much did it cost and was it worth it? Now I know the answer to the second question already,
Okay.
but you can still answer both.
Okay, well, I paid $1,900 for the service, the attorney service, but you got a comprehensive search, trademark search, international and national. They fill out the application. They're your power of attorney dealing with the office. So for me, that was valuable. Then also you have the trademark filing fees, which it's a whole different cost, which can be between 500 to 600 or maybe $1,000. In this instance, I paid only $500, and I think it's also based off of um, the use. I forget the language. It's the use and character. So I have a character word mark and logo, which I wanted to make sure the GBR Consulting as well as the whole look of the logo was protected. So that's how much I paid, $2,400 for the whole process.
Wow,
So for
that's
me, it was worth it.
that's worth
It's a business expense, so it goes, it's a write off for me. Um, and if you can go that route, I highly recommend it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. So this is great. I know this information is going to encourage many people,
yeah.
and for you guys, check her out. There's her link to her. Well, I don't know if this is a link, but you have her website
Website,
information right here in front of you,
yes,
you know. So take a look. If you loved what we had to say today, please make sure that you like, comment, and share. And I think my most important takeaways from this is like build your business and make it sustainable by going to the next level
yes,
and getting your logo or whatever it is that you use trademarked. Protect yourself and show people that you are here to stay.
yeah.
And Rina, do you have one last final thought for people?
The only thing I always stress to anyone that doesn't have a bookkeeper or an accountant, you can find good people at a reasonable cost. And I know sometimes bookkeepers and accountants, they're intimidating to people, but they're not. They really are there to help you make sure your numbers are right, because you never know if you want to, take it to the next. You might want an investor, right? And for them to invest in your business and give you that money, they want to look at your numbers, and so
Yes,
make sure that
very
you're
necessary.
always set. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes, very necessary. And it's no like there's no rule as far as like, oh, you're brand new, you shouldn't start now with someone
right.
as far as a bookkeeper or an accountant. It's best to bring them on when you first start,
Yeah,
So if you've already been in business, it's still okay. Bring somebody in. And if you're just starting out your business, you definitely bring somebody in and you can check out Gebrina for those services.
yeah.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you everyone for watching.
Thank you.
G, thank you so much for being here and
Thank
sharing
you
your
for having me.
experience with your wonderful trademark. I just love
Thank,
it. Okay.
thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome. All right, everyone. We'll see you all again soon. Again, this is Tez with Tez Talks Taxes, and you can find me on YouTube under Tez Talks Taxes and on Instagram under the name Tax Expert. Until next time, I'll see you all again.
Take care. Bye bye.